Welcome to Let's Talk English Podcast. Learn English with Podcast.
Today, we're unpacking one of the most underrated superpowers, mental strength. Evan, let's kick off with the idea that mentally strong people expect setbacks, not smooth sailing. Why is this mindset so critical?
Great question, Aaron. Imagine training for a marathon, but only running on flat, easy roads. You'd be unprepared when the real hills show up. In life, expecting challenges means you're not thrown off by them. You're ready to learn and adapt, just like training with tougher terrain.
That reminds me of the gym analogy, you only lift feathers, you'll never get stronger. Facing discomfort is like adding weight. For English learners, does this mean seeking out challenging conversations, even if it feels awkward?
Absolutely. When you step into situations where you might struggle, like speaking up in class or talking to native speakers, you're doing mental reps. Each awkward moment is resistance that builds confidence and resilience, making your mindset unshakable over time.
Let's transition to the concept of struggle. We often hear that struggle can either break you or make you stronger. What's the science or psychology behind this, Evan?
Research in positive psychology suggests that overcoming adversity rewires your brain for resilience. Take David Goggins, for example. He transformed severe setbacks into mental toughness by treating every obstacle as a stepping stone, not a stop sign.
That's powerful. For language learners, every time you freeze or stumble, it's tempting to see it as failure. But if you treat it like a workout, those moments actually become the path to mastery.
Exactly. Each mistake is a rep that forges new neural pathways. You're not just learning English, you're training your brain to persist through discomfort, which pays off far beyond language skills.
Now, we've discussed what to build, but what about what to cut out? Mental strength isn't just about positive action, it's also about avoiding certain habits. Which habits quietly erode mental power?
Complaining, chasing comfort, and making excuses are the big three. They're like weeds in a garden. They drain energy and crowd out growth. Complaining focuses your attention on the problem, not the solution, while comfort and excuses keep you stuck in place.
It's interesting how these habits feel harmless but actually reinforce a victim mindset. For English learners, swapping "I'm bad at English" for "I'm still learning" can shift everything.
Right. That one word "still" turns a dead end into a path forward. Mentally strong people replace these draining habits with intentional action, creating their own momentum instead of waiting for perfect conditions.
Let's dive deeper into daily habits. People often believe mental toughness is built in dramatic moments, but you argue it's forged in the small, consistent actions. Can you elaborate with examples?
Absolutely. Think of cold showers, daily exercise, and meditation. Each is a micro-challenge that trains discipline and focus. For English learners, recording a short voice memo daily, even if it's messy, builds fluency and confidence over time.
So discipline is like invisible armor. No one sees it, but it protects you in chaos. Are there studies showing how these habits shape our brains or behavior?
Yes, neuroscience shows that consistency forms neural circuits, making grit and self-control almost automatic. Repetition, whether it's language practice or mindfulness, rewires your brain for resilience.
Switching gears, let's discuss emotional control. It's easy to let emotions hijack your response in stressful moments. What's the role of the pause in building mental strength?
The pause is essential. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, famously said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is your power to choose." Pausing lets you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively.
That's a game changer. For English learners, facing nerves while speaking can trigger panic. Taking a breath, slowing down, and controlling your pace can turn that anxiety into clarity.
Exactly. Emotional control and language control are linked. Practicing the pause not only improves your speech, but also your self-regulation in all areas of life.
On to failure, often painted as the enemy. But you say it's actually the best teacher. Why is reframing failure so vital for growth?
Failure provides real-time feedback. Carol Dweck's research on growth mindset shows that those who see failure as information, not identity, improve faster. Every misstep is data you can use to adjust and grow.
For English learners, that could mean embracing every mispronunciation or grammar slip as a lesson, not a disaster. Is there a practical way to turn these moments into progress?
Definitely. Smile, correct yourself, and keep going. The willingness to fail forward separates active learners from passive ones. Each mistake proves you're in the arena, learning and improving.
Let's transition to attitude. When life throws curveballs, some people panic while others stay grounded. How do you cultivate a resilient attitude, especially in unpredictable situations?
Resilience starts with self-talk. Instead of asking, "Why me?" mentally strong people ask, "What can I do now?" This shifts focus from helplessness to agency, making you feel like a mountain in a storm rather than a leaf in the wind.
For English learners, reframing the question from, "Why can't I speak like a native?" to, "What's one thing I can improve today?" keeps progress moving.
Exactly. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. A growth-oriented attitude fuels consistency, even when circumstances are challenging or unpredictable.
Now, let's tackle the discipline versus motivation debate. Many people wait for motivation to strike before taking action. Why does discipline win in the long run?
Motivation is like a spark, it comes and goes. Discipline is the steady firewood that keeps the flame alive. Studies in habit formation show that daily routines, even small ones, create lasting change, while motivation alone rarely sustains effort.
So, for English learners, a fixed daily routine, even 10 minutes, compounds into real progress, while sporadic bursts often fizzle out.
Exactly. Consistency beats intensity. Small actions done daily shape your identity and skill set far more than rare, grand gestures.
Let's bring these concepts into the real world. How does mental strength, built through these habits and attitudes, translate beyond language learning into other areas of life?
Mental strength is cross-functional. The same grit you develop in language challenges applies to work, relationships, and health. For example, persevering through a tough English conversation prepares you to handle difficult meetings or personal setbacks.
And neuroscience supports this, right? Strengthening resilience in one domain creates spillover effects in others, making you a more adaptable and confident person overall.
Exactly. Building a strong mindset in any area creates a feedback loop of confidence and capability that elevates every aspect of your life.
To wrap things up, Charlotte's back with our vocabulary breakdown. Charlotte, why is mastering new words critical for both English fluency and a resilient mindset?
Learning advanced vocabulary is like adding weights to your mental gym. Words like chaos, crumble, and forge help you articulate complex emotions and experiences, empowering you to handle life's challenges with more precision and confidence.
So, by understanding and using these words, learners not only expand their English, but also their ability to process and express tough situations.
Exactly. Language shapes thought. The more words you have, the more tools you gain for tackling both internal and external challenges. Try weaving today's vocabulary into your routine for double the growth.